When my wife told me she wanted to organize another wedding for us, my entire body suddenly froze. There was no surprise nor any joy, because I had recently tricked her into signing the divorce papers. Holding the ticket for a flight about to depart, I decisively snapped my SIM card, deleted all my accounts, and boarded the plane without looking back. I had been married to Lu Ruyan for 5 years, and she rarely graced me with a smile. But that never bothered me, as the original purpose of this marriage was simply to get the money for my mother's medical treatment. Despite that, I never forgot my mother's words, "Don't play with emotions easily." Therefore, throughout those years, I always kept her in an important place in my heart. But when my mother was critically ill and needed urgent surgery, she bluntly blocked my number. It wasn't until the day my mother passed away that I learned the reason she did that was simply to welcome her first love back from abroad. After handling my mother's ashes and final affairs, I received a call from Aunt Chin. "Si Chin, your mother is gone. I'm truly worried about you staying in the country alone. Why don't you come abroad to live with me?" I remained silent for a long time, as if making a momentous decision, before finally replying, "Okay." "Really? It's so wonderful that you've agreed to come." Aunt Chen's voice was full of excitement from the other end. "But I heard you're married. Is your wife willing to go abroad with you?" Hearing that, I let out a soft laugh. "Don't worry, Auntie. We're about to get divorced." Before I could even hang up the phone, a commotion erupted outside the door. Lu Ruyan had returned home. I only glanced toward the door, not stepping out to greet her as I usually did. At that moment, her younger sister, Lu Xiaoqiao, walked in with an arrogant expression. "My sister has brought back brother Zi Rue. You're just an imposter. You're about to be kicked out of the house." I frowned slightly. "An imposter?" Lu Xiaoqiao became even more smug. "Once you meet brother Zi Rue, you'll understand." Just as she finished speaking, Lu Ruyan walked in, leading by Ziwei. Behind them was a driver carrying a large pile of luggage. And in Bai Ziwei's hand was a bouquet of bright red roses, so beautiful it was dazzling, causing my heart to tighten. She even had the time to buy flowers for him. In 5 years of marriage, she had never given me a single flower. Lu Ruyan once said that only girls need flowers, and why would a man need them? Yet now, she was personally giving flowers to another man. Ziwei just returned to the country and hasn't found a place to stay yet, so he'll be staying at our house for a while. Lu Ruyan didn't even bother to look at me, her eyes were glued to Bai Ziwei. "Clean up the guest room next to ours, Ziwei will stay there from now on." It wasn't a suggestion but a command, as if we weren't husband and wife, and I was merely a servant in the house. "Ruyan, I can clean it myself. There's no need to trouble brother Si Chen." Bai Ziwei looked up. For the first time, I saw his face clearly and was instantly stunned as if struck by a lightning bolt, my whole body paralyzed. Finally, I understood the meaning of the imposter comment Lu Xiaoqiao had made. Bai Ziwei had a face very similar to mine, only he possessed more handsome features and a gentler aura, while his eyes exuded the arrogance of someone born as a favorite of heaven. So that was it. I suddenly laughed, finally understanding. I had always thought of myself as an unlucky person. Before I was even born, my father had an affair and, along with his mistress, forced my mother, who was pregnant at the time, to leave with nothing. After I was born, my luck didn't improve. My mother raised me alone, living a life of hardship. My food and clothes were never as good as those of my peers, and I was frequently ridiculed at school. I was isolated by the whole class, bullied, and told I was dirty and smelled. I didn't dare tell my mother because she was already working so hard. After many years, I finally grew up, but my mother was diagnosed with cancer right after I graduated. How could an unlucky person like me be fortunate enough to be noticed by a wealthy young lady through a chance encounter and marry her? It turned out there was a reason for everything. I was just a substitute. "Uncle Zhang, bring the luggage up." The driver looked up at me in confusion, not daring to move. Seeing this, Lu Ruyan also turned to look at me. "What? Do you have an objection?" Her voice was haughty, carrying a hint of a threat. I maintained a calm expression and spoke without emotion. "I have no objection. I very much welcome Mr. by moving in. After all, I'll be leaving soon anyway." My mother was gone, and I had no lingering attachments in this country. Now that the official person had returned, I, the imposter, naturally had to know my place and step aside. Just then, the doorbell rang. A delivery man walked in holding a very large cake. "Wow, who ordered a cake?" Lu Xiao Xiao exclaimed. "Sister, did you order a cake for brother Zi Rue? His birthday is next week." Lu Ruyan didn't look up, replying indifferently, "Yes, but I ordered it in advance for him. Could the shop have delivered it on the wrong day?" While everyone was still wondering, the delivery man suddenly asked loudly, "Excuse me, is this Mr. Song Sikhen? This cake was sent by your aunt. She specifically told me to wish you a happy birthday." The living room fell silent instantly. Everyone turned to look at me. It was rare to see Lu Ruyan look uneasy. She said awkwardly, "Today is your birthday? Why didn't you tell me?" Bai Ziwei's birthday was next week, and she had already prepared gifts and a cake for him. As for my birthday, she didn't remember it at all. But then again, I was just a substitute. Why should she bother? It turned out today was my birthday, even I had forgotten. I smiled, trying to ease the atmosphere. I didn't expect my aunt to still remember my birthday. I'll have to call and thank her in a bit, and also check on the progress of going abroad. I want to leave here soon. "Sister, you're really too much, forgetting even your own husband's birthday." Bai Ziwei's voice rang out, sounding reproachful yet playful. "Si Chen, don't be angry. Oh right, when I just got off the plane, Ruyan gave me a very precious watch. Why don't you take this watch as your birthday present?" With that, he took off the watch and offered it to me with a smile. The watch was beautiful, set with rare red diamonds on a platinum heart-shaped base, symbolizing the only love. Unfortunately, this only love was not meant for me. I don't need it. I shook my head in refusal. This is a gift Lu Ruyan gave you. How can I take someone else's things? I won't accept something that doesn't belong to me. What kind of sarcasm is that? Lu Ruyan suddenly flared up in anger. I was just too busy with work and forgot your birthday. Why are you making such a big deal out of it? I didn't understand what I had done wrong. From beginning to end, I had kept a smile and spoken politely. Why was she still dissatisfied? I wasn't being sarcastic. I lowered my head to hide the exhaustion in my eyes. Lu Ruyan, then what do you want me to do? Accept this watch? If that's what you want, I'll take it. With that, I actually took the watch and said sincerely to Bai Ziwei, "Thank you for the gift." As a substitute, I felt I had been cooperative enough and had saved her face. But for some reason, when I accepted the watch, Lu Ruyan became even more furious. "Song Sikhen, you are truly incomprehensible." After saying that, she slammed the door and left. She was angry when I didn't accept the watch, and she was still angry when I did. Finally, I understood. Whether I accepted it or not didn't matter. No matter what I did, she would not be satisfied. The one who is loved always has the right to be arrogant, while the one who isn't loved is wrong no matter what they do. The birthday cake my aunt sent was very large, but I didn't share it with them. I didn't want to waste my aunt's kindness. In the evening, I packed my things and moved out of the master bedroom. Now that the official person had returned, I knew better than to continue sharing a room with Lu Ruyan to avoid making her uncomfortable. As I was moving, Bai Ziwei happened to step out of the room next door. He wore a loosely tied bathrobe that hung off his frame as if it were about to slip, covering almost nothing. "Sikhen, don't misunderstand. It's not that Ruyan won't return to her room with you, she's just still angry," Bai Ziwei explained with a feigned sincerity. "Rest assured, we didn't do anything. We were just playing cards." I smiled. "You don't need to explain to me. It doesn't matter even if you did. The divorce settlement is ready. I'll find an opportunity for Lu Ruyan to sign it tomorrow." "Sikhen, you've really misunderstood." Bai Ziwei put on an aggrieved expression, preparing to argue further. I cut him off with a smile. "I know you and Lu Ruyan are childhood sweethearts and very close. Now that you've finally returned after all these years, I'm sure you have plenty to talk about. So please feel free to chat, I won't disturb you." With that, I turned and left, leaving Bai Ziawei standing there. He watched me go for a long time with an unreadable gaze. Lu Ruyan stayed in Bai Ziawei's room all night. I didn't intentionally keep track, but early the next morning, the housekeeper, Mrs. Zhang, pulled me into the backyard and whispered mysteriously, "Master, you should be careful. That man named Bai is clearly up to no good. He's definitely here to cause trouble. You didn't see what he was wearing yesterday." Goodness, even I couldn't bear to look. I gave a faint laugh. "You're overthinking it. Mr. Bai and Lu Ruyan grew up together. She values him greatly. Don't speak ill of him anymore. Lu Ruyan won't be happy if she hears it." Mrs. Zhang froze, looking up at me with eyes full of suspicion. "Master, you're very strange today. Is something wrong?" "It's nothing. I'm fine." I smiled, but that smile felt like a mask welded onto my face. "No, you're definitely different today. Before, you always called her Gigi affectionately. Now you're calling her by her full name, Lu Ruyan." I didn't respond. In truth, I hadn't called her Gigi from the start. I had simply followed her friend's lead in calling her Sister Gigi. Later, the first time we were intimate, Lu Ruyan pinned me to the bed and used a black cloth to blindfold me. She forced me to call her Gigi, and told me I was no longer allowed to call her Sister Gigi. I used to think Gigi was a special term of endearment between us. But yesterday, when I heard Bai Ziawei call her that, the realization finally hit me. It turned out she had blindfolded me that night because my eyes didn't look like Bai Ziawei's, but my voice did. She made me use that name just to find a sense of familiarity. "Mrs. Zhang, the most important thing working here is to do your duty and talk less," I patted her shoulder, giving a gentle reminder. "Don't speak ill of Mr. Bai again. I'll be leaving soon, and he will take my place as the master of this house. If you offend him, you'll certainly be dealt with later." After giving my instructions, I went upstairs to get the divorce settlement and walked into Lu Ruyan's study. She was busy handling work, and when she saw me enter, she let out a cold snort. "Realized you were wrong yet?" "Yes," I replied flatly. She said I was wrong, so I would be wrong. I didn't care to argue, I just wanted everything to end. "Wouldn't it have been better if you'd understood sooner? You just had to make everything so difficult." Lu Ruyan spoke irritably, then took a small, exquisite gift box from a drawer and tossed it toward me. "To make up for your birthday gift. Open it and see." I was about to say I didn't need it, but my intuition told me she would flare up again if I did. I still needed her to sign the divorce papers, and it was best not to provoke her right now. So, I silently accepted the gift without saying a word. Just then, Lu Ruyan's phone suddenly rang. I accidentally caught a glimpse of the screen. The incoming call was from Bai Ziawei. She glanced at me, then put on her headset. The eyes that were always cold when facing me immediately softened, and her voice became gentle, a complete contrast. I pushed the divorce papers toward her. "Sign this." Lu Ruyan didn't even look. She signed her name directly and continued chatting on the phone with Bai Ziawei, her face glowing with a radiant smile. I couldn't help but frown. "Don't you need to look it over?" "No need," she snapped irritably. "Isn't it just about inviting an overseas specialist for your mother's treatment? Handle it however you want. If there are documents that need signing, give them to Assistant Wang and tell him to pass them to me. Don't call to bother me when you're free. Don't you know how many important calls I missed last time because you kept calling me?" My mother had been dead for a week. She had terminal brain cancer. Although Lu Ruyan had arranged for her to stay at the best hospital in the country, her condition had steadily worsened. Her moments of clarity became fewer, and most of the time, she didn't even recognize who I was. The lead doctor said we couldn't wait any longer. Surgery had to happen immediately, or she might not make it. For a week, I didn't know what to do, so I called Lu Ruyan for advice. I called 3 times, and the line was cut each time. On the 4th attempt, she finally answered, only to shout at me, "Don't call if it's nothing. I'm busy, don't disturb me." The doctor, knowing I was part of the Lu family, advised that it would be best if Lu Ruyan stepped in to invite an overseas specialist to collaborate with local experts for a consultation. That way, the chances of a successful surgery would be higher. I thanked the doctor, then sat in the hospital hallway with my phone, counting down every second as I waited. By 6 p.m., which was Lu Ruyan's finishing time, I gathered my courage to call again. She didn't pick up. I thought perhaps she was working overtime, so I decided to wait longer. This time I waited until midnight, but the call wouldn't go through. I stood frozen for a long time before realizing that Lu Ruyan had blocked my number. For the entire following week, she didn't come home. She couldn't be reached by phone, and she didn't reply to messages. My mother's treatment was dragged out, and she missed the window for surgery. Was she truly that busy? Yet, even while busy, she had found the time to pick a gift for Bai Ziwei and order a birthday cake for him during the same week she had me blocked. I didn't want to think about it anymore. I closed my eyes, trying to suppress my trembling hands, then took the signed divorce papers and left the study. At noon, Mrs. Zhang prepared a table of delicious food. But before we could even sit down, Lu Qiao began her provocation. Song Sikhen, weren't you always the one who cooked before? Why didn't you cook today? Is it because brother Zi Rue is here, and you suddenly feel too noble to cook for him? Hearing this, Lu Ruyan's expression immediately changed, her cold eyes staring straight at me as if waiting for my answer. It was ridiculous, but holding the divorce papers in my hand, I had no energy left to argue. If you want to eat, then eat. If not, don't. Before I could finish, Bai Ziwei suddenly winced and clutched his stomach, his face contorted in pain. Ziwei, what's wrong? Lu Ruyan asked, startled and panicked. She immediately rushed over to support him. Gigi. My stomach hurts so much. Bai Ziwei's face turned pale as he slumped into Lu Ruyan's arms, his expression both fragile and captivating. Lu Ruyan frowned. How can your stomach suddenly hurt out of nowhere? Beside them, Lu Qiao suddenly looked as if she had just realized something. She pointed at me and shouted, I know. No wonder you wouldn't go into the kitchen. It's because you poisoned brother Zi Rue. You have a guilty conscience, so you didn't dare set foot in the kitchen all day. The baseless accusation made me let out a bitter laugh. If I haven't been in the kitchen all day, where would I have found the opportunity to poison Mr. Bai? Not being in the kitchen doesn't mean you couldn't bribe the staff to do it. Lu Qiao sneered. I came here this morning and caught you and Mrs. Zhang whispering secretly in the garden. Looking back, you two must have been plotting to poison brother Zi Rue. Good heavens, eldest miss, you shouldn't say such things recklessly. Mrs. Zhang pleaded in a panic. I am just a servant, how would I ever dare to poison someone? Then what were you and Song Sikhen discussing in the garden this morning? Lu Qiao would not let it go. Mrs. Zhang cast a worried glance at me, unsure of how to respond. After all, with both Lu Ruyan and Bai Ziwei present, how could she possibly repeat what had been said that morning? Can't answer, can you? You two definitely have something to hide. Lu Qiao said triumphantly. Brother Zi Rue, do you need me to help you call the police? Putting poison in food, isn't that attempted murder? At the mention of the police, Bai Ziwei's expression instantly became more pained. He gripped Lu Ruyan's hand and cried out, Gigi. It hurts so much. Am I going to die? I'm so scared. Seeing Bai Ziwei in such agony, Lu Ruyan completely lost her composure. She immediately ordered people to help him up and rushed out the door to take him to the hospital. Before leaving, she didn't forget to turn back and glare at me, saying coldly, I will deal with you later. Mrs. Zhang was scared to the point of tears. A woman over 50 was now as frantic as a child. Master, what do we do now? I really didn't poison Mr. Bai, I didn't do it. I only came here to work and save money for my old age, why would I commit a crime? I knew perfectly well that Mrs. Zhang wasn't the one who did it. But since she was the cook, if a scapegoat wasn't found, Lu Ruyan would certainly not let her off. I spoke calmly, if Lu Ruyan asks, just tell her I told you to do it. Don't be afraid, put all the blame on me. How can we do that? Mrs. Zhang gasped. Master, we didn't do anything wrong, why should you take the blame? I gave a sad smile. Over these past few days, I had come to understand one thing, whether I admitted it or not didn't matter. Lu Ruyan had already decided I was the culprit. Whether I confessed or not, the outcome would be the same. In that case, I might as well take all the blame to protect Mrs. Zhang and keep an innocent person from being dragged down. Just do as I say. Don't worry, I have made arrangements, it will be fine. At the hospital, Lu Ruyan spent the entire night busy. Near dawn, she finally drove Bai Ziawei back home. But the moment they arrived, she immediately interrogated me. Song Siken, you're quite clever, aren't you? You knew perfectly well that Ziawei is allergic to peanuts. Didn't you grind peanuts into powder and sprinkle them into his porridge? Do you have any idea that if I hadn't gotten Ziawei to the hospital in time today, he could have lost his life? Lu Ruyan looked at me with cold eyes, her voice full of resentment. Mrs. Zhang has confessed to everything. She said it was under your direction. What else do you have to say? I'm giving you a chance to explain. Why did you do it? I raised my head and looked calmly at Bai Ziawei. He lay pale and weak on the bed, looking as though a gust of wind could blow him away. Siken, I don't believe you would harm me. Surely you had some reason, right? Bai Ziawei said weakly, his expression seemingly trying to seek sympathy. I smiled, looked him straight in the eye, and said softly, thank you for trusting me. I truly didn't harm you, and I don't know why Mrs. Zhang would frame me. Why don't we call the police so they can investigate thoroughly? My words might not be trustworthy, but the police's conclusion certainly will be. When I mentioned calling the police, the reactions of both Bai Ziawei and Lu Ruyan were very interesting. Bai Ziawei immediately avoided my gaze, while Lu Ruyan flew into a rage. Song Siken, do you think I won't dare call the police out of consideration for our relationship? No, Lu Ruyan, I thought to myself. I know you have no consideration for me at all. But your childhood sweetheart won't let you call the police. Because I understand his petty tricks perfectly. They can fool you, but they won't fool the police. If the police discover that the peanut powder was sprinkled by his own hand, the situation would become extremely embarrassing. Sure enough, in the next second, Bai Ziawei spoke up weakly, Gigi, don't be like that. After all, Siken is your husband, we can't let him go to jail because of me. Besides, I'm fine now. Furthermore, if you won't think of Siken, you must think of the Lu family. If someone from the Lu family goes to prison and the news spreads, the Lu group's stock will surely plummet. Under Bai Ziawei's persuasion, Lu Ruyan finally suppressed her anger and didn't call the police. But she wasn't about to let the matter drop. Not calling the police doesn't mean you won't be punished. The pain Ziawei suffered tonight, you shall suffer the exact same. She commanded coldly, bring the medicine the doctor prescribed for him over here. Several security guards quickly held me down. Lu Ruyan grabbed my chin and forced an unknown medicine into my mouth. The effect was rapid. In just a short while, I was in such agony that sweat poured off me like rain. I clutched my stomach, convulsing and rolling on the floor, the pain so intense I nearly blacked out. Lu Ruyan stood over me, her eyes as cold as ice, without a hint of pity. It hurts, doesn't it? When Ziawei ate the porridge you poisoned, he felt this exact pain. Remember this feeling. Only through pain will you learn to correct your mistakes. Her voice was as cold as a blade cutting into my heart. I bit down hard on the back of my own hand, so hard that the skin broke and blood flowed, but I didn't let go or make a single sound. The pain lasted the entire day. It wasn't until midnight that the effects of the medicine finally began to fade. My whole body was drenched, not in sweat, but in cold perspiration. My face was deathly pale. Just then the phone rang. It was my aunt. I struggled to muster a bit of strength to press the answer button. Hello, Siken, it's Auntie. Her gentle laugh came from the other end. I've taken care of all your departure procedures. When do you plan to come? I'll help you book the flight. I lay on the floor, my eyelashes trembling slightly. I couldn't stay in this place for one more minute. But after a whole day writhing in pain, I felt like a puppet whose life force had been drained away. My body had no strength left. Even lifting a finger was too difficult. In this state, I feared I wouldn't make it to the airport in time. Moreover, if Auntie saw me in this condition, she would be heartbroken once I was abroad. I'll go the day after tomorrow. I'll finish the divorce procedures here, settle everything, and then go. All right, I'll buy a ticket for 7 p.m. the day after tomorrow for you. Remember to bring your ID and passport to the airport. You only need those two things to get your ticket. I lay flat on the bed for an entire day and night, finally recovering a little strength. Today is the day I leave. The flight is at 7 p.m. Once I board that plane, I will never come back. Early in the morning, just as the sky was turning gray, I got up. I began packing my belongings one by one. Soon, it was afternoon. I glanced at my phone. It was already 3 p.m. Only 4 hours remained before my flight was to take off. As I was preparing to change clothes to head to the airport, Lu Xiaoqiao suddenly blocked my path. Song Siken, what are you still standing there for? Hurry up and put on this suit. I frowned. Why? Don't pretend you don't know. Lu Xiaoqiao said impatiently. Isn't today your wedding anniversary with my sister? She said that when you two got married, because my parents opposed it, you only registered and didn't have a ceremony. She's always felt guilty about it. Plus, since she's been a bit cold toward you lately because of Brother Z Rue's situation, she wants to use your 5th anniversary as an opportunity to organize another wedding for you. A lie. It was definitely a lie. I immediately suspected it was a trap. Lu Ruyan and I had been married for 5 years. She had never mentioned organizing a wedding ceremony. Why would she suddenly want to do it now? Especially after Bai Ziawei had returned. Don't believe me? Lu Xiaoqiao glanced at me, her eyes full of mockery. If you don't believe it, call my sister and ask. Do you think I want to be involved in this? If she hadn't forced me, I wouldn't bother with you at all. I still didn't believe it, nor did I want to call Lu Ruyan. Seeing my hesitation, Lu Xiaoqiao impatiently dialed her sister's number and threw the phone to me. Sichen, I've heard about your mother. You've endured so much lately, so let me make it up to you today. Lu Ruyan's voice came through the line, so gentle that I couldn't believe my ears. This had to be fake. Lu Ruyan never used such a tender tone with me. I've arranged everything. Go change your clothes. We'll meet at the wedding. Lies. It was all lies. My entire body began to tremble uncontrollably. What on earth did Lu Ruyan want? Why was she organizing a wedding for me? What was her true objective? Despite being certain it was a trap and fully understanding that I was unloved, my heart couldn't help but waver as I put on the suit she had specially prepared for me. Humans are always like that, knowing something is impossible yet never ceasing to hope. What if it was real this time? What if I was actually loved this time? I had been miserable for so long, surely I deserved to be lucky just once. So, I would go and see. I figured there was still time. With the mindset of a man gambling on a 1-in-a-million chance, I walked into the wedding. At exactly 5 p.m., I arrived at the venue. As I pushed open the doors to the banquet hall, a bucket of cold water was dumped straight onto my head from above. Laughter erupted everywhere. Standing behind me, Lu Xiaoqiao laughed until she cried, Song Siken. You really are an idiot. Did you actually believe my sister wanted to hold another wedding for you? You fool. Today is Brother Z Rue's birthday, not the wedding ceremony you were longing for. This is his birthday party. Lu Xiaoqiao laughed loudly, her voice dripping with mockery. The banquet hall was crowded. Clearly, everyone was there to celebrate Bai Ziawei's birthday. He was there too, wearing a suit identical to the one I had on, except his wasn't wet. He remained elegant and radiant. My sister ordered this suit specifically for Brother Z Rue. Isn't it beautiful? She plans to propose to him today. Lu Xiaoqiao continued her jeering. Song Siken, my sister and Brother Z Rue are true love. You're just a clown who forced his way into their legendary love story. If you know what's good for you, get out on your own. It'll be even more embarrassing if my sister has to kick you out. Didn't you already guess it was a lie? You truly are a fool, tricked by heaven so many times yet still falling into traps so easily. You clearly knew this was a scam, yet you charged right in. What were you trying to prove? How pathetic you are. I didn't say a word, coldly turning to leave that suffocating place. I hailed a taxi and ordered the driver to head straight to the airport at maximum speed. My phone vibrated incessantly. Pulling it out, I saw dozens of missed calls from Lu Ruyan. She seemed to have started calling the moment I got into the taxi. Over 30 calls in total, but in my state of total collapse, I didn't care about the phone at all. Lu Ruyan kept calling, but I didn't want to listen. I took out the SIM card, snapped it in half, and threw it away. As 7 p.m. approached, I took my ticket through security and boarded the plane without any obstacles. Before the plane took off, I deleted all my social media accounts. A flight attendant came by to remind me to power off my phone. I smiled and nodded, pressing the button. The screen went black, and at that exact moment, the plane began to ascend. Leaning back in my seat, I softly closed my eyes. Lu Ruyan, I won't say goodbye to you, because I hope we never meet again. Immediately after I left the banquet hall, Lu Ruyan walked in holding a large bouquet of roses. She asked, "Qiao Qiao, why are you the only one here? Where is your brother-in-law? Didn't I tell you to take him to change?" Lu Qiao looked flustered, her eyes avoiding her sister's gaze, but she still didn't forget to mock me. "He left. He said that lately you only care about brother Zirui and have completely neglected him, so he got angry and ran away." Hearing this, Lu Ruyan frowned. Ran away? Impossible. She knew my personality. I wasn't the type of person to do something like that. In her mind, I was always the patient one, never talking back or opposing her decisions, no matter how excessive she was. Even when she forced me to take that painful medicine 2 days ago, I had endured it silently without a word. Afterward, though she felt a bit of regret, sensing she had gone too far, her towering pride prevented her from humbling herself to apologize. Therefore, using their 5th anniversary as an occasion, she had decided to organize a ceremony as a way to make it up to me. There's no way Siken would just run away on his own. Lu Ruyan's face turned cold as she stared at Lu Qiao, her voice heavy with pressure. "Tell the truth. What exactly happened?" Lu Qiao immediately cowered, casting a pleading look toward Bai Zirui. He stepped forward and took Lu Ruyan's hand, his voice gentle but laced with a hint of whining. "Gigi, today is my birthday. Can you please focus on celebrating with me? Don't worry about other things anymore." Bai Zirui was still wearing that pristine white suit, and Lu Ruyan immediately recognized it as the one she had commissioned for me. "This suit? Why is it on you?" Lu Ruyan was stunned, her gaze sharpening. "This is clearly the suit I ordered specifically for Siken." Hearing this, Bai Zirui immediately put on a hurt expression, his voice trembling. "Gigi, what are you saying? Wasn't this suit ordered specifically for me?" Lu Ruyan let out a cold laugh, looking at him with contempt. "Bai Zirui, don't you think you're being a bit too naive? Do you still believe that I have feelings for you, a man who was already married?" Bai Zirui's face turned deathly pale. He trembled, unable to believe his ears. "Gigi, what are you saying? I don't understand what you mean." "You don't understand?" Lu Ruyan curled her lips, her smile sharper than a blade. "Then let me explain it to you, word by word." She twisted her mouth into an expression that looked less like a smile and more like a burst of pent-up rage. "Bai Zirui, you are now just an old worn-out man who was dumped by someone else. Do you really think you're still qualified to be with me? Stop joking, you aren't worthy." Those words hit like a thunderclap, leaving Bai Zirui completely stunned. His face went white, his legs staggered back, and he stammered, "No, that can't be. You still love me. You came to the airport to pick me up the moment I called, you even brought me into your home. For me, you even forced Siken to take medicine that caused him pain all day. If you didn't love me, why would you do those things? Why?" Watching Bai Zirui on the verge of collapse, Lu Ruyan only gave a faint, icy smile. "You still don't get it? I did all of that just to get revenge on you. Back then, I loved you so much I was willing to sacrifice everything for you, but what about you? You didn't hesitate for a second to break up with me for some useless artist abroad, and you even blocked all my contacts. Do you have any idea how I had to get through that time? Do you know how much I suffered?" Lu Ruyan's eyes held no trace of love now, replaced by a seething resentment. "From that moment, I swore I would make you suffer double the pain I went through. When I learned you were living miserably after your marriage, I was overjoyed. I even wanted to buy a plane ticket immediately just to stand in front of you and say, 'Bai Zirui, you deserve it. But I restrained myself because a mere unhappy marriage wasn't enough to appease my anger. Your suffering wasn't caused by me, so I felt no satisfaction. Lu Ruyan sneered, her voice cutting, so I waited until you were at your most desperate, with no one left by your side, to pretend to love you and encourage you so you'd have the courage to divorce your useless wife. Bai Ziwei stared wide-eyed, unable to believe what he was hearing. So everything you did was just to get revenge on me? Correct. Lu Ruyan admitted without hesitation. I originally planned to create the illusion that I was deeply in love with you, then use your birthday to have Qiao Qiao take you to try on the suit, making you think I would propose today. But in reality, today's ceremony was for me to hold a wedding for Sikhen. He was meant to be the main character. In truth, Lu Ruyan had ordered 2 identical suits, but her assistant had later reminded her, Director Lu, no man wants to wear the same suit as someone else on his wedding day. If you want to create a surprise, it's best to make a unique one for him. She had found the suggestion reasonable and had asked the designer to make a slightly different version for Bai Ziwei. But her plan didn't go exactly as intended. Lu Ruyan's original goal was to humiliate Bai Ziwei during this ceremony, then turn around, take my hand, and present me with the most grand wedding imaginable. She wanted Bai Ziwei to stand by, consumed by envy and lifelong regret for ever choosing to leave her. But when she appeared with the flowers in her hand, the man who was supposed to be the groom had vanished, and the suit I was meant to wear was on Bai Ziwei instead. Lu Ruyan turned, her eyes like chips of ice as she stared down Lu Qiao Qiao, her voice stern. What is the meaning of this? You had better provide a rational explanation. Lu Qiao Qiao was scared out of her wits. She never imagined that the person her sister truly loved was me. Realizing she had spent the entire day busily arranging nothing but trouble, Lu Qiao Qiao saw that she had caused a catastrophic misunderstanding. In reality, Lu Ruyan hadn't revealed her revenge plot to Lu Qiao Qiao. She had only instructed her sister to take Bai Ziwei for a fitting in the morning and me in the afternoon. Lu Qiao Qiao had jumped to her own conclusions, assuming that all the talk about anniversaries and make-up weddings was a ruse. In her mind, she was certain her sister intended to propose to Bai Ziwei on his birthday in front of everyone. That was why she had enthusiastically pushed to organize everything since the early hours. Not stopping there, Lu Qiao Qiao had added her own spice to the prank. She had someone rig a bucket of cold water over the hall door to humiliate me before the event even began. Regarding the suit, because she saw that the one intended for me was of much higher quality than Bai Ziwei's, she assumed there had been a mistake. She immediately went to the event shop and angrily demanded to know why the suits had been swapped. Since Lu Ruyan had indeed ordered 2 identical suits previously, the shop staff weren't sure if she had changed her mind, so they hurriedly gave the other suit to Bai Ziwei. After setting everything up, Lu Qiao Qiao completely failed to recognize her blunder. She was even proud, thinking she had performed her duties perfectly. She imagined that when her sister saw these perfect arrangements, she would surely praise her and perhaps reward her with expensive jewelry. But facing Lu Ruyan's furious glare, Lu Qiao Qiao's self-satisfaction vanished instantly. Lu Qiao Qiao, don't make me ask a third time. What did you do to Si Chun? Lu Ruyan's voice was frigid, each word a sharp blade. Where did Si Chun go? Lu Qiao Qiao lowered her head, trying to concoct a lie to escape blame, but in the next second, Lu Ruyan's cold voice rang out as a final warning. You'd better tell the truth. Don't force me to check the surveillance cameras. The threat worked. Lu Qiao Qiao knew that if the footage were checked, all her actions would be exposed. If she confessed now, she might be able to omit a few details to save herself. So, she confessed. Sister, I don't know who was so cruel as to put a bucket of cold water over the door. When brother-in-law opened it, the water poured all over him. Everyone in the hall laughed at him. He couldn't take it and ran away. I tried to stop him, but I wasn't fast enough. This confession turned Lu Ruyan's face dark with a rage that bordered on madness. She glared at Lu Qiao Qiao furiously. I will deal with you once I find Si Chun. She pulled out her phone and dialed my number. She thought that with just one call and a few soothing words, I would return to her side as submissive and enduring as always. But to her disbelief, after several consecutive calls, I didn't answer. How can this be? Is Si Chun actually not picking up my calls? Lu Ruyan frowned, sensing something was wrong. She told herself he probably didn't have his phone on him. It made sense, since it's hard to carry a phone while wearing a suit. In her mind, my failure to answer was purely due to physical reasons, never because I was intentionally ignoring her. She remained convinced I hadn't gone far and must still be nearby. After a few seconds of thought, she regained her composure and commanded, "Assistant Truong, get the hotel manager here. Mobilize every staff member in this hotel to find Si Chun for me. I'm giving you 1 hour to bring him back safely, or you will face the consequences." Assistant Truong moved quickly. Lu Xiao volunteered to help, but not out of concern for me. She feared that if I returned, I would tell Lu Ruyan about her nasty tricks, so she decided she had to find me first to threaten me into silence. An hour passed, yet no one found me. Lu Ruyan was livid, but all efforts were in vain. As dusk began to fall and I was still missing, she was forced to mobilize even more people. Even the friends and relatives who had come for the wedding were dragged into the search. Unable to sit still, Lu Ruyan joined the search party, constantly sending me messages. "Si Chun, where are you? If you see this, reply to me immediately. Si Chun, I know you've been hurt lately, but everything happens for a reason. Call me back, I'll explain everything clearly. Si Chun, I stopped liking Bai Ziawei a long time ago. It was all an act, don't you understand? Just an act, it wasn't real." Initially, her messages were soft, trying to coax me back, but as she sent more without a response, her patience wore thin. "Song Siken, don't push your luck. I know you're still around here. You must be gloating, seeing me search for you so frantically, aren't you?" Finally, she sent a threatening message. "I'm giving you 1 hour to return to the hall. If you come back on time, the wedding will proceed as planned, and I will overlook everything that happened today. But if you don't show up in an hour, don't even dream of setting foot in the Lu house ever again." After sending that final text, Lu Ruyan was certain I would return. In her heart, she believed I loved her more than anyone else and that no matter what she did, I would always endure and forgive. She confidently imagined me rushing back, bowing my head in apology, and begging for forgiveness. Feeling reassured, she stopped searching and went back to the hall, leaving the others to look for me. Upon her return, she found only Bai Ziawei left in the hall. Seeing he hadn't left, she sneered, "You still haven't gotten out? Or are you planning to stay for mine and Si Chen's wedding?" At this, Bai Ziawei burst into a loud, hysterical laugh. It wasn't a sound of joy but of madness. Tears streamed down his face even as he laughed. "Ha! Lu Ruyan, do you really think Song Siken is coming back?" Lu Ruyan curled her lip, her smile full of confidence. "Si Chen loves me more than anyone. No matter what I do, he will forgive me. Of course he's coming back. He is the best man in the world." Hearing this, Bai Ziawei's laughter grew even more deranged. "Ha ha ha. Lu Ruyan, you have the nerve to call me a fool? Clearly, the biggest fool in the world is you. No man, no matter how generous, can accept his wife letting another man move into their home, especially when that man is her first love. Why did Song Siken endure it? Why didn't he care at all while I was living in your house? Ha ha ha. It's because he doesn't love you anymore. It's exactly because he doesn't love you that he doesn't care. It's because he doesn't love you that he could endure it all." Lu Ruyan's confident face instantly clouded over. She stepped toward Bai Ziawei, her hand gripping his throat, her voice low and menacing. "Shut up. Don't pretend you know Si Chun. What does a creature like you know about true love? Si Chun and I lived together for years. Do you think I can't feel whether he loves me or not?" She applied immense pressure. Under her grip, Bai Ziawei's face turned bright red, and he could barely breathe. Yet he still laughed, continuing to provoke her. "Ha! Lu Ruyan. If you know him so well, let me ask you, he's been gone this long, do you know where he is? Do you know where he goes when he's sad? Do you know what he likes to eat, or what his hobbies are?" Bai Ziawei's rapid-fire questions were like daggers plunged straight into Lu Ruyan's heart. She couldn't answer a single one of them. Song Siken knew every one of her preferences, what she liked to eat, her favorite places, her daily schedule, and even her pre-sleep habits. Yet she didn't even know where he went to hide when he was sad. Was this what she called true love? It was laughable. Bai Ziwei looked her straight in the face and sneered, I truly admire Song Siken. How did he manage to endure you for all those years? If I were him, I would have run away long ago. Shut up. Lu Ruyan roared in a fit of rage. She swung her hand and slapped Bai Ziwei hard across the face. The blow was so forceful that he tumbled to the ground, a large red mark blooming on his cheek. Even so, Bai Ziwei laughed maniacally, Lu Ruyan, Song Siken is never coming back. You can wait your whole life, and it will be in vain. These words stripped Lu Ruyan of all reason. Growing up, she had never raised a hand against anyone, but now, for the first time, she lost control. Not only did she slap Bai Ziwei, but she also lunged at him, striking him repeatedly. Shut up. You're a worthless coward. Don't use your filthy mouth to tarnish Si Chun. He will come back. He loves me. He is the person who loves me most in the world. You know nothing about love. In her fury, Lu Ruyan grabbed Bai Ziwei's head and slammed it hard against the wall. Blood quickly pooled from his forehead. Fortunately, Assistant Truong returned at that exact moment and intervened just in time. If not, Bai Ziwei might have lost his life. Bai Ziwei was rushed to emergency care, while Lu Ruyan sat slumped on the floor in front of the hall, her face vacant. She looked down at the watch on her wrist. The glass face was cracked. She muttered under her breath, 2 hours. 2 hours have passed. Why hasn't Si Chun returned? I said it, I gave you 1 hour to come back to me. Why won't you listen? Lu Ruyan's eyes were glazed as she rambled. Si Chun had always been obedient, always listened to her. But why, at the moment she needed him most, was he not doing what she wanted? It must be because he doesn't have his phone, she reassured herself. Right, he hasn't seen my messages. That must be it. Just a little longer, and Si Chun will definitely come back. Seeing Lu Ruyan on the verge of losing her mind, Assistant Truong sighed helplessly. Vice President, I just uncovered some information. What information? Lu Ruyan immediately looked up, her eyes flashing. She gripped Truong's sleeve, her voice filled with hope. Did you find Si Chun? Assistant Truong gave an awkward, strained smile. No, but I discovered that this morning, the master donated all of his belongings to the Sunbeam Welfare Institute, even the proposal ring you gave him. Lu Ruyan froze, feeling as though all her strength had been siphoned away. A long moment later, she stammered, What did you say? Si Chun donated everything. Assistant Truong didn't know how to respond and could only bow his head in silence. But this silence only fueled Lu Ruyan's rage. She grabbed his collar and screamed uncontrollably, Why? Who gave him permission to do that? Why didn't you people stop him? You useless fools. If you don't find Si Chun and bring him back, don't you dare set foot in here again. At this moment, Lu Ruyan was no different from a madwoman. Her arrogance, confidence, and resolve had completely collapsed. For the first time, she realized with stark clarity that she had truly lost Song Siken. In the months that followed, Lu Ruyan became obsessed, frantically searching for me. She went to my hometown, meeting my old teachers, classmates, and neighbors. She questioned everyone who had ever known me, hoping to find the slightest clue to my whereabouts. In the process, she began to learn more about me. It was only then that she discovered I grew up in a single-parent household. My father had left when I was very young, leaving my mother and me to live in deprivation. This had left me perpetually insecure, and due to the lack of affection, I had developed a habit of people-pleasing. I endured things not out of love, but because I was accustomed to suffering in silence. Despite my life being full of misfortune, I still lived with integrity. After marrying her, I continued to send money to the Welfare Institute every month and even spent time volunteering there every week. The children at the institute were very fond of me. Brother Si Chun likes the color blue best, because it's the color of the sea. He said he loves the sea because it symbolizes freedom and romance. A child at the institute said to Lu Ruyan while painting a picture of the ocean, a radiant smile on his face. Your brother Si Chen's friend, right? When will he come back? I painted this ocean to give to him. Lu Ruyan felt her heart tighten, a wave of bitterness washing over her. Even the children at the Welfare Institute knew I loved the sea and the color blue, but she didn't. Though she didn't want to admit it, Bai Ziwei's words were true. She really understood nothing about love. To find me, Lu Ruyan visited every coastline in the country, but all her efforts yielded nothing. The more she searched, the more terrified she became. The house they had shared for 5 years was now empty, containing nothing that belonged to Song Sikhen. "You are so cruel," Lu Ruyan whispered, tears streaming down her face. "But no matter how cruel you are, I can't blame you, because it's all my fault." She had learned about my mother's death, and she understood clearly what she had been doing during my most agonizing time. She had brought Bai Ziwei into our home, forced me to clean his room, and even to please Bai Ziwei, she had forced me to take medicine that caused me unbearable pain. Thinking back on the things she had done only made her loathe herself more. Ha ha ha. She burst into a mad laugh, tears falling. "Lu Ruyan, you deserve this. Bai Ziwei was right, you deserve it." While Lu Ruyan was haunted by pain and searching for me relentlessly, I was elsewhere, living a completely peaceful life. I had snapped my SIM card and deleted all my social media accounts. I never received her calls or messages. And naturally, I didn't want to. To me, everything that happened before felt like a horrific nightmare. I had used all my strength to escape it, and I had no desire to return or be involved ever again. I left my homeland and flew over 7,000 kilometers to a foreign country just to start over. And among the things I gave up, of course, was Lu Ruyan. During a meal, my aunt smiled and asked me, "Si Chen, I remember you majored in fine arts, didn't you? Lately, I've seen you going out to sketch, and you've painted many beautiful landscapes. Your uncle and I both love them. Your uncle says it would be a waste for such excellent paintings to just stay in the house. He wants to sponsor an art exhibition for you. What do you think?" An art exhibition? My eyes widened in surprise, leaving me speechless. Though I appeared hesitant on the surface, the spark in my eyes betrayed the excitement in my heart. For an artist, holding an exhibition is not just a validation of ability but an opportunity to introduce one's work to the world. Ever since I began studying art, I had dreamed of one day holding an exhibition entirely of my own. But after that brief moment of excitement, the familiar anxiety returned. Holding an exhibition would cost a lot of money, wouldn't it? I asked, my voice laced with unease. Currently, I don't have a job and haven't earned a cent. Just staying here and eating your food makes me feel guilty enough, and now to let you and uncle spend money on an exhibition. Stop. My aunt cut me off before I could finish. If we're talking about feeling guilty, then I should be the one feeling it more. She smiled, but the corners of her eyes were red. If I had contacted my sister sooner, perhaps both you and she wouldn't have had to suffer so much. Perhaps she wouldn't have passed away so early. My aunt's name is Lin Zhaodi. She and my mother, Lin Adi, both grew up in a small remote village. They were born into a family that was extremely patriarchal, even their names clearly reflected their parents' desperate longing for a son. But unlike my mother, who was always gentle and enduring, Aunt Zhaodi had been a stubborn and strong-willed girl from childhood. She was like a resilient weed, pushing upward despite adversity. When her parents forced her to drop out of school to get married, she adamantly refused, even after enduring countless beatings. Finally, she fled the village on a stormy night. During a sleepless night, she retold the story to me with an emotional voice. That night, her older sister had braved the rain to find her. Initially, she thought her sister had come to drag her back, and her heart nearly broke. But no, she didn't do that. Her older sister had given her every penny she had saved after a year of backbreaking work, totaling 5,333 yuan. My mother had dropped out of school early to work, but every year during the Lunar New Year, all the money she earned had to be handed over to their greedy father. If she was short by even 100 yuan, she would be severely beaten. But that day, my mother handed all that money to her sister and pushed her onto the bus. Go far away, and never come back. Auntie told me she had changed her name to Lin Duyi because she loathed her old name, a name that served as a constant reminder of the days she was looked down upon. She had worked while studying, seizing every opportunity to take the university entrance exams, study abroad, and finally establish her career. She had built a new life, escaping her painful past. Auntie took my hand, her eyes filled with regret. I only repent one thing, and that is not coming back to find my sister sooner. I always thought that once I was successful, I would bring her abroad to live out her days in comfort. I never expected the most painful thing in the world is reaching the pinnacle only to find the person you want to repay is no longer waiting for you. Every time she mentioned my mother, Auntie couldn't hide her tears. My mother's passing left an eternal void of regret in her heart. However, she still had me, her greatest consolation. Siken, don't ever think of yourself as an outsider. She wiped her tears, her voice overflowing with affection. I have no children, you are my son. This is your home. Just tell me whatever you want. Never mind an art exhibition, I would pluck the stars from the sky for you. Her words provided me, a person who had always been starved of love, with a profound sense of warmth for the first time. Auntie Zhaodi had dared to escape that small village to remake her life. I had to learn from her, becoming stronger and more confident to welcome a new life of my own. Auntie, I want to hold an art exhibition. I raised my head, my eyes shining with unprecedented determination. But I can't let you and Uncle pay for it. I am an adult, and even if we are family, I cannot live dependently like this forever. Consider this money a loan from you both. Once the exhibition is successful, I will earn the money to pay you back. Hearing this, Auntie smiled, her gaze as gentle as flowing water. Now you sound like my nephew. Siken, your paintings are so beautiful, they will surely be loved by everyone. I am certain you will be a great success. She smiled encouragingly, while Uncle did not hold back his praise. Siken, I have great faith in you. Keep at it, you will surely become a great artist. With the help of my aunt and uncle, my first art exhibition was organized on a grand scale. Initially, I worried that no one would come. After all, I was just an unknown artist. After graduation, I had been a homemaker for the Liu family, with no experience in organizing exhibitions and having never sold a single painting. I had no reputation either at home or abroad. Could someone like me truly hold a successful exhibition? During the days of preparation, I was so stressed that I lost sleep every night, and my hair fell out in clumps. But I had underestimated the influence and network of my aunt and uncle in this country. On the opening day, famous figures from the high society of Nkwok attended. The atmosphere was both luxurious and elegant. The guests possessed a noble aura, and the paintings hanging on the walls received countless compliments. From the very first day, I sold several pieces at high prices. I want you to come and say hello. Auntie came to my side, pointing toward a woman in a long dress with a noble demeanor, and introduced her with a smile. That is Miss Hua, a prominent figure in the jewelry industry. She just bought 5 of your paintings at a very high price. Auntie held up 5 fingers, whispering softly, $500,000 each. $500,000. I was stunned. That was nearly 4 million renminbi in total. Not in my wildest dreams did I imagine my paintings would sell for so much. For such a major client, both out of gratitude and etiquette, I needed to greet her. Auntie led me to Miss Hua. Hello Miss Hua, it's been a long time. Auntie struck up a conversation cheerfully. Clearly, the two were well acquainted. I didn't expect someone as busy as you to have the time to support my nephew. Miss Hua gave a faint smile. I happen to have the day off today. Let me introduce you, this is my nephew, Song Siken. He is a very talented artist. All the paintings in this exhibition were done by him. Being praised by Auntie in front of others made me blush with embarrassment. Auntie, you're exaggerating. I just paint whatever comes to mind. No, you truly are talented. Miss Hua smiled slightly, her gaze moving toward the landscape painting behind me, especially this one. Even though it uses warm tones, for some reason, I can feel the vast loneliness of the world within it. Looking at it moves me deeply. I was dazed. I didn't expect Miss Hua to be able to see through the emotions in my work. In truth, most of my paintings were like that. No matter how bright and vibrant the colors, the hidden emotion was always one of solitude and emptiness. Like the lyrics of an anonymous song, the louder the noise, the deeper the loneliness, the more prosperous the surroundings, the more lost one feels. No matter how many people pass through one's life each day, human hearts remain like isolated islands. No one ever truly reaches the core of another. I grew up with that sense of loneliness. The noisier things became, the more out of place I felt. I've heard that every painting reflects the artist's mood at that time. Miss Hua continued, her voice contemplative. Looking at your paintings, Mr. Song, I feel that no matter how brilliant the colors are, a sense of vastness and desolation always lingers. She turned back, her eyes resting on me with curiosity. Mr. Song, you are so young and handsome, so why do you hold such sad emotions in your heart? This woman had very beautiful eyes, deep and cold. When she looked at someone in silence, they couldn't help but feel she could look right through the surface to their very soul. I quickly looked away, unwilling to face that intimidating gaze. I've also heard that people who buy paintings at high prices do so because they feel the emotions the artist conveys. But I wonder, Miss Hua, being so young, beautiful and successful, why do you empathize with the loneliness and sadness in my paintings? I intentionally threw the question back at her, not wanting this stranger to see through my state of mind. I thought that given her status, my question might displease her. People like Miss Hua or Lu Ruyan were usually not accustomed to being questioned or contradicted. Living with Lu Ruyan, I had become used to yielding, weighing every word, and never crossing her. But I was no longer the Song Sikhen of the past. I had severed ties with my history, and I was ready to start a new life. If Miss Hua felt uncomfortable, so be it. I didn't intend to prolong this conversation anyway. To my surprise, however, Miss Hua wasn't angry. She smiled gracefully. Thank you for the compliment. I was taken aback and blurted out without thinking, I didn't compliment you? Miss Hua's gaze deepened, yet she remained composed. You're quite forgetful, Mr. Song. You just called me young, beautiful and successful. I was instantly speechless, not knowing how to respond. Initially, I thought Miss Hua was a cold, distant person who was difficult to talk to, but I didn't expect her to be so witty. Then I should also thank you for calling me handsome. I let out a laugh in response. Seeing me smile, Miss Hua's eyes seemed to brighten. You've finally smiled. I froze, my face instinctively turning red. I've been smiling this whole time. Up until now, you've only been smiling politely. Miss Hua's eyes were brimming with amusement as she watched me intently. But now, that's a genuine smile from the heart. Her remark left me flustered. It was strange. This was the first time I had met her, yet why did every word and action of mine seem so transparent to her? The secret emotions I had kept guarded since childhood seemed perfectly legible to her. Despite it being our first meeting, it felt as though we had known each other for a lifetime. You should smile more. You have a beautiful smile. As she said this, Miss Hua looked directly at me, making me feel the sincerity in every word. The compliment made me shy. I lowered my head, not daring to meet her gaze. Thank you, you too. Having said that, I suddenly remembered something and turned to my left, realizing something was amiss. Where is my aunt? She led me here just a moment ago, but now she's gone. Seeing my reaction, Miss Hua let out a soft laugh. Did you only just notice your aunt is no longer here? She stepped closer to me in silence. Standing side by side, the proximity made me feel a bit unnatural. You're a bit slow, or perhaps your attention was so entirely focused on me that you didn't notice someone leaving? I felt my face turn even redder and quickly protested. Who said I was looking for my aunt? I wasn't. I knew she left a while ago. The reason I turned my head just now was because. Just then, a waiter carrying a tray of pastries walked past. I immediately snatched a cake and said, blushing, I was looking for something to eat. With that, I hurried to stuff the cake into my mouth. Because I took such a large bite, my cheeks puffed out like a little squirrel hoarding food, looking quite foolish yet endearing. Miss Hua couldn't help but laugh. Eat slowly, no one is going to take it from you. The scene of the two of us chatting so comfortably caught the eye of my aunt, who was watching from a distance. She couldn't help but chuckle, wearing the proud expression of a mother. Our Si-Chun certainly is charismatic. He's already attracted a suitor so quickly. She spoke boastfully to my uncle, but even though Miss Hua is exceptional, getting married early isn't a good thing. Besides, Si-Chun lives too rigidly, too suppressed. That's not good at all. Tonight I must speak with him, teach him how to live more freely, and how to enjoy the sweetness of love. He shouldn't rush into marriage. Let his suitors keep pursuing him so he can enjoy feeling like a prince. Hearing his wife, my uncle laughed helplessly. You don't go spoiling Si-Chun now. I'm not spoiling him, I'm teaching the boy how to enjoy life. Auntie gave his leg a playful kick. The art exhibition was a resounding success. I displayed a total of 51 pieces, and 33 were sold in just one day. Most of the paintings sold for between $10,000 and $50,000. The 5 paintings Miss Hua bought were $50,000 each. Miss Hua paid 10 times the asking price to buy your paintings. Auntie laughed teasingly as she helped me calculate the income and expenses. Si-Chun, tell me, do you think she likes you? No way. I remained focused on the ledgers, ignoring my aunt's teasing. I think she's just the generous type who strikes up a conversation with anyone she finds handsome. At this, Auntie's eyes widened in sheer astonishment. What are you talking about? Miss Hua is one of the most famous women in high society. Her private life is very serious. She has never associated with improper people. Even when attending major events, she never brings a boyfriend. I finally looked up, taking my eyes off the computer screen. Then why would she? I stopped mid-sentence as the realization hit me, immediately falling silent. Even though I didn't finish the thought, Auntie guessed what I meant. A knowing smile instantly spread across her face. Why would she what? Was she flirting with you? My face burned bright red. I quickly grabbed the laptop and papers, trying to change the subject. Auntie, look, this bakery charges so much. Just ordering pastries for one day cost $10,000. Is this a Michelin restaurant? That price is about right. Auntie answered dismissively, then circled back to the previous topic to continue gossiping. As I see it, she most likely likes you. She'll definitely ask you out. If she does, you should agree. A man only has a few years of youth. You must enjoy love while you're young. But remember, only enjoy the love. Don't rush into marriage. You've only just come back to me, and I absolutely do not want you getting married and moving out. She laughed as she spoke, leaving me not knowing whether to laugh or cry. Isn't just dating without marrying like playing with someone's emotions? That's just the mindset back home, it's not like that abroad. Auntie laughed and explained, foreigners value freedom very much. They don't see marriage as a necessity. Many couples here live together for decades without marrying, even having 3 or 4 children. The eldest might already be in university, yet they still haven't registered their marriage. She paused for a moment before changing her tone. Of course, I'm not saying marriage is bad. If a relationship naturally progresses into marriage, it's very romantic. But what I'm saying is don't turn marriage into a task. Don't think that love must have a specific result. Love is beautiful, and you are young and very handsome, so enjoy it. Don't build your walls too high, and don't be too quick to reject those who pursue you. You only live once, don't be too reserved. Do what you want to do, I'm here to take care of everything for you. I understood Auntie's intention. She was worried that me staying home all the time without socializing would make my psychological state even more negative. She wanted me to open up, go out more, and enjoy my youth and love, rather than letting one failed marriage lock me in the past. So I smiled and nodded. You're right, Auntie. I'll listen to you. So if Miss Hua invites you out, you'll definitely accept, right? Auntie asked, her eyes full of hidden meaning. I didn't think much of it and nodded immediately. If she invites me, I will certainly go. That's wonderful. Auntie cheered. Miss Hua just texted me saying she wants to invite you to a yacht party, and I've already accepted on your behalf. You trapped me. I looked at her with a helpless gaze. My art exhibition was extremely successful. Not only did many famous people attend, but Auntie had also invited many reporters to cover the story. After the exhibition ended, news of it appeared on the art pages of several major newspapers. Some reporters even called me a rising star in the world of painting. The reporters are absolutely right. Auntie praised me excitedly as she read the article on her phone. My Si-chun is truly talented. Every painting is vivid and full of emotion. You are the brightest star in the art world. Hearing her, I didn't know whether to be happy or embarrassed, but living abroad, I realized one thing: people here prefer to praise rather than criticize. Instead of criticizing, even if a child makes a mistake, they will praise them first, acknowledging the effort before slowly analyzing the error. Having lived abroad for a long time, Auntie was influenced by this way of upbringing. No matter what I did, she spared no words in praising me. If I cooked, she said it was better than a Michelin chef's meal. If I swept the floor, she said I did it quickly and neatly. Even if I did nothing and just sat still, she had to give a compliment. Si-chun sits with such poise, he really has presence. I thought to myself, it turns out that just existing is enough to be praised. There was no denying that Auntie's encouragement brought me confidence. Growing up, I had lived in a state of suppression and emotional lack. Although my mother loved me dearly, the hardships of life had drained her strength. She was always exhausted, with no time or energy left to encourage me, focusing only on keeping me from hunger and cold. My mother had exhausted all her strength just to raise me. But since I married Lu Ruyan, her family had also placed relentless pressure on me. Her mother looked down on me. No matter what I tried to do, she always found a way to nitpick and criticize. No matter how much effort I put in, I could never satisfy her. As for Lu Ruyan's father, he didn't even bother to glance at me once. In the 5 years I lived in the Lu household, I was always like an outsider, living every day in a state of anxious fear. In such a suppressed environment, my personality became increasingly sensitive and insecure. However, the unconditional encouragement from my aunt helped me gradually regain my self-confidence. Like a ray of sunlight piercing through thick clouds, that light shattered the gloom of my life and illuminated everything. It was only then that I realized I wasn't as bad as I had once thought. It turned out I actually had a good appearance, as there were many people here who pursued me. Unlike Lu Ruyan, these people didn't belittle or look down on me, they respected me and frequently praised me. It turned out I was also very talented. My art exhibition received many compliments, and my paintings were loved by many. It turned out I was also very skilled, because the food I cooked made everyone praise it enthusiastically. Even an elderly neighbor wanted to learn how to cook Chinese food from me. I had lived in a high-pressure environment for so long that I had become blinded, unable to recognize my own value. But fortunately, I have escaped now, and the people beside me are those who love me. My art exhibition here also gained a certain level of acclaim, appearing in the art columns of several major newspapers. But since these were all foreign newspapers and located in the art section, I thought Lu Ruyan would never notice. She always looked down on artists, considering them useless and viewing works of art as worthless luxuries. I even mocked myself, thinking that even if she happened to see these articles, she probably wouldn't care, as she had likely already married by Ziawei and wouldn't concern herself with where I was. Regrettably, I guessed wrong. During the months I was missing, Lu Ruyan searched for me like she was possessed. As a workaholic who once regarded the Lu family business as her life, she had set everything aside for me, risking everything just to find me. Her obsession with me had reached a state of madness that no one could stop. She didn't listen to advice from anyone, nor did she care about the rebukes from her parents. She gave up everything just hoping to see me one more time. Previously, she hated art, especially painting, because the person Bai Ziawei had married before was an artist. But since learning that my major was fine arts, she no longer rejected painting. She even began to pay attention to news related to art, trying to learn more about the field in the hope that one day when she found me, I would see that she had tried to get closer to my world and love what I loved. Si-chun, today is the 151st day since you left me. Where are you? Do you know how much I miss you? Over the past 100 days, she had thought a lot. It was my fault before, I was too terrible. I have realized my mistakes now, please forgive me, okay? I have no other wish. Now I just want to see you one more time. Please don't hide from me anymore. Please come back to me. I truly cannot bear it any longer. In the 151 days since I left, Lu Ruyan sent me messages almost every day, but every message fell into a void. She received no reply from me. Lu Ruyan was on the brink of collapse. At times, She even wondered if I was truly no longer in this world, and if she would never see me again. Was it because of a stupid revenge game that she had lost the person she loved most in life? When those thoughts nearly drove Lu Ruyan mad, she happened to see an international article about my art exhibition. The article featured a photo of me. I was wearing a light blue hanfu, standing next to a landscape painting, wearing a gentle smile. I looked so peaceful, so elegant. Immediately, Lu Ruyan's entire body went rigid. She stared at the photo so intently she didn't dare blink, as if fearing that if she did, the me in the photo would vanish. "Come here. Is anyone there? Come here now," she screamed uncontrollably. After a moment of agitation, Lu Ruyan commanded Assistant Truong, "I want to know all the information about this art exhibition immediately. Investigate everything related to it for me." Assistant Truong worked very fast. Less than an hour later he reported, "The organizer of the exhibition is someone named Eileen Ivanov. But according to my investigation, Eileen Ivanov is the English name of the master. So, it is certain that the master is in country M." Finally, after so many days of searching, Lu Ruyan had found a trace of me. She was so moved she burst into tears. Without hesitation, she asked Assistant Truong to book a flight to country M immediately. "Si Chun, thank you. Thank you for still being alive. Thank you for not giving up on your life. Si Chun, wait for me, I will come find you immediately. This time, I absolutely will not let go, nor will I give you the chance to leave me again." Upon arriving in country M, the first thing Lu Ruyan did was seek out the location of my art exhibition. She inquired everywhere, at every shop on the street, and finally, as night fell, she found the address of where I was staying. She thought that since I had come to a foreign country all alone, the place where I lived must be very simple. But when she found the address, she was astonished to see it was a luxurious villa. Given this location and that architecture, it would be impossible to buy without spending hundreds of millions. How does Si Chun have the money to live in a place like this? Lu Ruyan frowned, wondering if she had found the wrong place. Despite her doubts, she stepped forward and knocked on the door. The person who came to open it was my aunt. Since she had never met Lu Ruyan, my aunt maintained a very friendly attitude. "Hello, who are you looking for?" "I want to see Eileen Ivanov. His Chinese name is Song Sikhen. I heard he lives here," Lu Ruyan answered in fluent English. "Oh, are you a friend of Si Chen's?" My aunt smiled radiantly. "I never expected Si Chun to have such a beautiful friend like you and not mention it to me at all. That's really not right of him." Hearing that the other person knew me, Lu Ruyan finally breathed a sigh of relief. Although she didn't understand why I was living in such a luxurious villa after going abroad, at least she had found the right place. "Is Si Chun home? I want to see him for a moment. Could you call him out here?" she asked urgently, her voice full of entreaty. "Unfortunately, Si Chun just went out to a party," my aunt said. "What is your name? Or perhaps leave your phone number, and when Si Chun returns, I'll tell him to contact you." Lu Ruyan was about to say her name, but the words died in her throat. Si Chun was hiding from her. If she gave her name, what if it frightened him into leaving again? She had worked so hard to find him, she couldn't lose him again due to a moment of carelessness. "It's all right. If Si Chun isn't home, I'll wait here until he returns." Lu Ruyan gave a forced smile, her voice pleading, "I really need to see him once." Seeing that the other person didn't even want to give her name, my aunt began to get suspicious. Could this be a dangerous stalker? Such people were not uncommon abroad. Therefore, she carefully refrained from inviting her inside and closed the door gently. Then, she quietly took a photo of Lu Ruyan through the window and sent it to me. "Si Chun, someone has come to the house looking for you. Do you know her?" Auntie messaged. At that moment, I was on a date with Xia Yu. Seeing the photo Auntie sent, the smile on my face instantly froze. Lu Ruyan. How could she have found her way all the way here? "Si Chun, what's wrong?" Xia Yu quickly noticed the change in my expression and asked worriedly, "You don't look well at all." Under the dim moonlight at a dining table shimmering with candlelight, the atmosphere was romantic, but I no longer had the heart to enjoy it. "I'm sorry, something came up at home. I have to go back immediately." I stood up and looked at Xia Yu apologetically. It was time to face it. Regardless of anything, if Lu Ruyan had taken the initiative to find me, I should meet her once and settle everything clearly so she would no longer disturb my new life. Xia Yu was uneasy about letting me go alone and offered, "Then let me drive you back." "No need," I quickly refused. Although Xia Yu and I had not officially confirmed our relationship, we had gone on many dates. Back home, this was almost considered being in love. I didn't want her to witness a strained encounter between me and Lu Ruyan. After much persuasion, Xia Yu finally agreed to let me return on my own. I hailed a taxi and headed home. Stepping out of the car from a distance, I saw Lu Ruyan standing under a streetlight, silently smoking. Seeing me, she immediately tossed the half-burnt cigarette and rushed toward me. "Si-Chen." She threw her arms around me, her voice trembling. "Thank God I found you. Do you have any idea how miserably I searched for you? I almost turned the world upside down to find you. You've been away from me for exactly 153 days. As she spoke, her tears fell incessantly. 153 days might not sound long. Only about half a year, but for Lu Ruyan, every minute and second of those 153 days had dragged on like a century. She hadn't understood it before, but since I left, she finally realized how much missing someone could make time move sluggishly and painfully. "Si-Chen, don't leave me again, never leave me again." Her voice was choked with emotion. "I was wrong, I admit I was wrong. I shouldn't have brought Bai Ziwei home, and even less should I have treated you that way. But all of that was fake. I only did it to get revenge on Bai Ziwei. The person I truly love in my heart is you." Finally reunited with me, Lu Ruyan couldn't help but pour out all the thoughts she had harbored during this time. She told me about all her plans, including the fact that organizing the wedding was truly meant to make it up to me, but because of the foolish Lu Qiao, everything had been ruined. "I've punished Qiao severely," Lu Ruyan said. "I cut off all her pocket money for a year. I also warned her sternly that she is never allowed to be disrespectful to you again." After rambling for a while, Lu Ruyan placed her hands on my shoulders, her voice suddenly becoming softer. "Si-Chen, I know what I did before was reprehensible, and I've realized my mistakes. I apologize to you. Please forgive me and come home with me, all right? Let's start over from the beginning." Hearing these words, I couldn't help but burst into laughter. I never expected the day would come when I would hear Lu Ruyan say she was sorry. But what surprised me even more was the realization that I didn't care about her apology at all. I had loved her with all my heart, loved her passionately. I had also hated her cruelty, her coldness, and the fact that she couldn't give me even a shred of love. I had once longed to hear her repent and admit her mistakes of those 5 years. I had given her everything, my youth, my energy, my passion, and my love. Did 5 long years filled with such intense emotions not deserve a single apology from her? But during all that time, despite doing countless cruel things to me, she had never said sorry. Now she finally apologized, but I realized I no longer cared. After listening to Lu Ruyan finish in silence, I replied in a calm tone, "Lu Ruyan, we are already divorced, I can't go back with you. The feelings I had for you were drained away during the cold and painful days you put me through. I don't love you anymore. So go back on your own. For the rest of my life I don't need you, and I will not walk beside you." Her eyes were bloodshot, and her voice shook. "Divorce? I don't agree. You tricked me into signing that divorce agreement. I didn't even read it before I signed. It's not valid. We are still husband and wife. You can't leave me. Si-Chen, you can't leave me." She fell into a state of panic, clutching my arm and screaming like a madwoman. I struggled to pull away but couldn't break free. In her frenzy, she dragged me toward the car, intending to force me inside and take me away. In that critical moment, a familiar figure appeared. A powerful punch landed, sending Lu Ruyan sprawling. Startled, I looked up to see Xia Yu standing before me. "Xia Yu? Why are you here?" I looked on in astonishment. "Your expression was so poor, I was worried, so I secretly followed your car," she replied, simultaneously pulling me behind her to protect me. Knocked down, Lu Ruyan staggered to her feet. Seeing Xia Yu and me standing intimately together, She was so furious she looked ready to explode. "You bitch. Who are you? Get away from my husband." With that, she lunged forward, swinging her hand to strike Xia Yu. But Xia Yu was not someone easily bullied. She quickly caught Lu Ruyan's fist and skillfully used a restraining move to pin her against the hood of the car. "Husband?" Xia Yu laughed coldly. "Didn't you hear what Si Chun said? He already divorced you. He has absolutely nothing to do with you now." These words were like adding fuel to the fire, sending Lu Ruyan into a rage. She struggled out of Xia Yu's grip and lunged at her. Both women were strong, and the fight was fairly even. I stood by, trying desperately to intervene, but I couldn't separate them. Finally, my aunt and uncle stepped out from the house. My uncle said he would go in to break it up, but as soon as he got close, he joined forces with Xia Yu to hit Lu Ruyan. "Auntie, uncle. Is this what you call breaking it up? Why are you all hitting only one side?" I looked helplessly at the chaotic scene before me. My aunt stood to the side, watching with an amused smile. "It seems we can still have quite a bit of fun, Si-chin." Lu Ruyan, her face covered in bruises, still stubbornly refused to give up. Despite being beaten to the point where her whole body ached, she gritted her teeth and said, "Si-chin, I worked so hard to find you. If you don't come back with me, I won't go back. If I once lost you, then I will try to win you back. As long as you aren't married, I will never stop pursuing you until you love me again." If this had been before, hearing these words might have moved me deeply. But now, my heart was as still as stagnant water, devoid of feeling. I coldly uttered one sentence, "Whatever you want." Then I turned and walked away. In the time that followed, Lu Ruyan truly did as she said and began a frantic pursuit of me. Every day, she sent large bouquets of roses to my house, frequently gifted jewelry and presents, and tried every possible way to win my favor. But no one accepted those flowers, and I returned all the gifts. Despite this, Lu Ruyan refused to give up. When gift-giving didn't work, she turned to self-inflicted misery tactics. She stood outside my house during a snowfall, holding a music player and repeatedly playing love songs until her lips turned purple from the cold, yet she still didn't leave. Facing her self-torture, I merely closed the window indifferently. Furthermore, while Lu Ruyan was frantically pursuing me, I continued to date Xia Yu regularly. Many times, Lu Ruyan watched me get into Xia Yu's car, share candlelit dinners with her, and go to the movies. And on many nights, I stayed over at Xia Yu's house. This drove Lu Ruyan nearly insane, but she had no right to reproach me. We were divorced, and previously, she herself had brought Bai Ziwei home and even stayed in his room all night. With what she had done, how could she have the face to blame me? As Xia Yu and I dated more and more frequently, Lu Ruyan finally realized in her agony that she could not win me back. But even so, she still wouldn't let go. She had said, "As long as you aren't married, I will continue to pursue you." For a whole year, she tried every way to reclaim me, but in the end, what she received was a wedding invitation for my marriage to Xia Yu. "I've truly lost you, haven't I?" Lu Ruyan smiled bitterly. Though she had known the answer for a long time, at this moment, she still felt her heart shatter. I gave a faint smile. "Lu Ruyan, you lost me a long time ago. Love that arrives late is worth less than weeds." It was exactly as I said. When I needed her, she never appeared. Now that I no longer needed her, her presence held no meaning. From a year and a half ago, I had retracted all the love I had for her. For the rest of my life, I don't need her, and I will not walk beside her. But Lu Ruyan still hasn't escaped the shadow of her loss. Watching me in a suit, walking hand in hand with Xia Yu into the sanctuary, she understood that for the rest of her life, she would never escape this obsession. She had lost the person who loved her most in the world, and now, no matter what she did, she could never get me back. The rest of her life will be submerged in longing and misery, with no one left to help her overcome this pain. But she is not worthy of pity, because it was all her fault. Lu Ruyan, you brought this end upon yourself, and you deserve it.